and welcome to the Financial Goddess channel. I am Margaret Milutinovic, your finance and business expert. In this business lesson series, we are going to talk about the best way to cut costs, and it is not by terminating your staff. So, one of the common mistakes that I see happen again and again and again, especially with major corporations, and I did touch on it on one of my previous videos, is that they hire some inexperienced rookie with college degree or an MBA who comes in, and the first thing they think to do to turn the business into a profitable entity is get rid of the staff, get rid of the majority of the staff. And the end outcome of that is the ones that stay have decreased morale and overall profitability of the business suffers. It never spells out anything good. Now, I get it. 70% of the costs for majority of industries out there have to do with salary and wages and the associated on costs, whether you're paying into the retirement funds, whether there is workers' compensation insurances, staff training, you pay public holidays, you pay annual leave, you pay sick leave, you've got all these obligations that cost you money as part of hiring people. Of course, if you don't fully understand how the business numbers work and what you need to do to be profitable, you might be under the false impression that you should be terminating your employees, because you look at your profit and loss, it's like, oh, that's the biggest cost to my business, so I gotta get rid of some people. But that is not necessarily the best option, and let me tell you why. First of all, think about the process you go through, the resources you invest, both time and money, when you first want to hire a new employee. You have to pay for the advertising. You might be getting a recruitment agency involved, and they will collect the cut from you hiring that person. Then it's someone's time. If it's not your time, you might have a manager within your company. Job interview processes start. You gotta look at the resumes, you gotta do reference checks. All these things take time, and therefore they cost you money. Then at the end of the day, you find your ideal candidate, or what you think is an ideal candidate. And then the process of training that person to do their job takes place. So that person starts a job, someone has to teach them your company policies, your company procedures, somebody has to set them up with the access into your business's ecosystems, whether it be IT or banking or any other software that they might be required, and somebody needs to train them in that. Again, there is time and money involved in the process. In addition, you're paying that staff member wages. You're paying them while they are slower than somebody with experience, and while by nature they will be making mistakes. After all that journey takes place, they will have build up the skills and get to the level where you want them to be within your business. They would have built up the knowledge both about your business as well as industry and the products and services that you are offering. They would have built relationships with your customers or clients. They might have built relationships with suppliers. The moment that you decide to cut costs and terminate them, you have all that knowledge, skills, and the time and money that you invested walking out the door. That's not the smartest investment, right? The problem with a lot of businesses is that they view their employees as an expense, and in accounting terms, they are classified as an expense. On your profit and loss statement, salary and wages is under operating costs. What I encourage you to do, and what I encourage my clients to do, is to treat your staff like an investment. Treat the wages, the compensation that you give them, and evaluate their performance in terms of your return on that investment. that is how you need to view it, because the reality is you are investing your time and money, and it's your business reputation on the line. I'll share a story with you. One of my clients quite a while ago, a successful luxury brand company, hired a new manager who was a rookie, completely inexperienced with the industry, didn't understand the business culture, never been in a leadership position. But they had a great sales pitch, and so they got this prominent position in the business at a competitive salary that someone with a lot more experience and significantly more value would have need to be paid. So anyway, this manager gets hired, and they have a responsibility of a quite high chunk of staff working for this particular luxury brand. And without taking the time to understand the business culture, to understand what motivates these employees, they decide to flex that muscle, walking, through the door with very authoritarian standpoint of, if it's my way or the highway, if you don't like it, get out. I'm completely against that leadership style. I don't believe it works for anyone, but that particular manager, who was quite inexperienced, thought that there was a best approach with his new team to flex his position title, to flex his status. That resulted in massive quitting. That staff didn't get replaced because one of the KPIs this manager had was to improve profitability of the two departments that he was responsible for, which was operations and logistics. So he have gone through the process, had very careless attitude, didn't care who walked out the door, created a lot of friction, created a lot of resilience within the business, didn't take any ideas on board. He thought he's all that, he's got the winning solution. And at that point in time, I flagged those red flags with the company CEO. I said, look, you've got a real problem on your hands at the moment. There is a significant number of people that have quit within the last 2 months period. There needs to be some sort of an underlying issue. High staff turnover is never good for any business. So we had the initial conversations with that CEO, and I have advised him that my recommendation would be to conduct exit interviews with those employees to work out why they were quitting. Sure, it's not the same as terminating your employees, but effectively it kind of is the same if the reason that you have massive number of staff quitting is because of the way that you treat your staff. You might as well call it a termination if people are walking out massively out the door. But of course, that CEO made the mistake of getting that particular manager, who was a problem, in charge of those exit interviews. What do you know next thing? Nobody ever spoke the truth. Nobody ever said the real reasons why they're quitting. Nobody wanted to be confrontational. There's been a number of complaints lodged with the HR department about people feeling bullied and intimidated by that manager, and that were once again swept under the carpet. The end result was that in the period of 3 months, 26 staff have quit. That's 26 out of just over 100 employees. That's nearly 1/3 of the entire team that has quit. Some of the biggest losses that that company experienced was that it wasn't only the staff that quit from that team, but people that were sitting in that boardroom that were with the company for 10, 15, 16 years, was the longest serving employee that walked out the door. And the reason being is that this particular manager's ego and authoritarian leadership style also translated to a toxic environment in the boardroom, where that culture that was supportive and family-like environment where people would make decisions together pretty much overnight disappeared because of this manager. And because it appeared that he had CEOs backing, it gave board members no choice but to resign from their positions as well. And that was a tragic outcome for this luxury brand, because what you lose and what they have lost is the skills and knowledge and those relationships that were built with other staff, that were built with suppliers, that were built with customers and clients. And in particular, when you're dealing with luxury brands, your customer, your client is somebody that is high net worth individual with substantial influence with the overall public and in the overall market. So that is so hard to rebuild that kind of relationship and to have that level of trust established again. And that brand suffered tremendously because that skills and expertise that walked out the door. 26 people in 3 months. Can you imagine if your business, your multi-million-dollar business, lost 26 staff and some that were quite seasoned employees that have been loyal to you for over 10 years? That's a tragedy for any business. The lesson for that is when we talk about terminating your staff, it is something that cannot be overlooked. You know, it's too easy to allow some rookie with an MBA college degree with zero experience of managing anything to walk through the door and get rid of half of your staff and go, well, that's the problem easily fixed. I just cut your operating cost from 70% to 35%. I got rid of half of your employees. That's not necessarily the smartest decision. I mean, surely there is time and place where you will have to terminate an employee. But that has to be a well thought of decision, and of course it has to follow the applicable employment law in your country to make sure that you're following the process correctly. But the lesson that I want to emphasize for you today as a smart and successful business owner is stop treating your staff like they are just an expense on your P&L and to start treating them like an asset. And if you look around your office, if you look around your business and you think, these people are just costing me money and I don't see any value in them being here and I don't see any asset, then I'll guarantee you there's one of two things that are happening. Either you have a problem of being ungrateful and unappreciative and not understanding the value that your staff contribute, or you got really bad and really unlucky at picking good quality people and training them well for a job and then learning what motivates them and what makes them tick, and it's not always the money. So I want you to, from today onwards, I want you to go back, I want you to look at all your stuff, and I really want you to stop and think about the value that they bring into your business. I want you to be critical with the analysis. Have a look at their skills and knowledge. And what I further will encourage you to do, outside of the traditional skills and knowledge that you think or you assume that they have for the role that they have been hired, take it then one level up and have conversations with them, and they don't have to be formal. Have a casual lunch, walking past the drink bubbler, grabbing a coffee, have casual conversations to find out what other skills and accreditations people have that you may know about, because that adds to their value and that is often overlooked. And these are the things that become valuable when you make a decision and you view your staff through a new lens. You look at them and go, what can this person contribute to my business? What skills and knowledge do they have? Some of their skills and knowledge will come from extra accreditation they have done since they started working with you. Some they might have never thought to mention to you because they felt irrelevant to their role and they felt like you might not be interested. And some of their skills and knowledge will come from transferable skills that they have acquired through their involvement in community, through their sporting associations, through their volunteering, or through their hobbies and interests that they might not have necessarily shared with you. In fact, I'll bet you 80% of the bosses that I talk to have no idea about those extra skills that the staff have until we sit down and do full skills matrix for every single person to identify those extra values and those extra skills that you can utilize within your business. The next thing I want you to think about when you look at your staff and you are assessing their return on investment and the value to the business is the knowledge that they have acquired, both about the role in your business as well as the knowledge of your business overall and the vision for your business, and do they understand what you're trying to achieve? Are they on the same page? And then add the industry knowledge that they have built over the number of years that they have been working with you or that they have been working in the field. It pains me to see when people are looked at just a number and just a dollar value. And I see that happen so many times, you know, when someone says, I had a senior person with an expertise, a senior employee, and I've now replaced them with somebody junior straight from college because it's a lot cheaper for me. Really? It shows me that you're completely devaluing this employee. You're seeing them as a number. It's not the same. It's like comparing apples and oranges. It's like comparing, I don't know, your everyday brand car to a luxury car. You know, it's not the same thing. And the sooner that you as a business owner can see it, and the sooner that you can stop treating your staff as an expense and stop seeing them as a number and get your recruitment and onboarding and training process right, the sooner you're gonna maintain loyal staff that will be happy to work for you. And if you see them and you treat them as valuable employees and you create that value over time by offering them training and growth opportunities and showing them that you care about them as a person, the sooner it will help your business to grow. Terminating staff just because it's only a short-term solution that's going to lead your business to its downfall. If you simply look at it and go, oh my God, I'm looking at my P&L and I'm looking at how much it's costing me to hire all these people, and the only mindset you have is let's get rid of these people, or worse still, you hire a rookie to do that for you, that will bring the downfall for your business. I guarantee you. I guarantee you that even though you might lose one or two people that maybe should have been fired because they weren't pulling their weight, you will also lose good people. People that were loyal to you, people that were loyal to your company, people that would have gone out of their way to help your business grow. And that's the lesson for you, to start treating people like the valuable assets that they are. Stop viewing them through the lens of being just an employee, just a number, and just an expense. And focusing on cutting costs through creating efficiencies in your business and not straight away going to, number one, let's terminate the employees. This is one of the two things that business owners do. You know, inexperienced business owners. They either go cut employees, increase the price, or they do both, worse still. So don't be one of those people. Now, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to click on the subscribe button below. If there is any videos on topics that you want me to do, I'm more than happy to do them as long as it's within my area of expertise. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you real soon.